Gary Spence on Afternoon Delight. So delightful.
yes, it's Gary Spence, Solar Radio, on your classic and 21st century soul station. The station where we just love coming to work. Now, there's a bit of a secret going on here. No one knows this at the moment, but and I mean, I've got like a real mum, but I've got another mum in another country called Carol Williams. So, good afternoon, mum number 2.
Good afternoon. How are you, Gary?
I'm very well, thank you. You know, I mean, we haven't spoken for a long time because you sort of pushed me out many, many years ago, didn't you, Carol? You know what I mean? You pushed me into the field and said, carry on with your life. Carry on with
Yes, I just heard you play Love Is You.
Yep. Was that a big memory for you, Carol?
Yes, it is, because whenever I hear that song, I just picture Vince and I in the studio and seeing Vince conducting the Salsoul orchestra. It was just unbelievable. It took us almost like a year to do that whole album, but I was in every session from the time that the rhythm sections came in to play, down to the strings and horns, and of course Vince's wonderful arrangements of it and everything. So it always brings back great, beautiful memories.
Oh, absolutely. Do you still sing that song now?
I still sing that song. That's one of my songs that is definitely in every one of my shows that I do.
So when you sing that, you're going to think of me now, aren't you? You know that. You're going to think of Gary Spence.
Yes, I am, and I just love this wonderful British accent. I just actually feel that I'm in the UK now.
You're kind of sitting next to me, Carol. You know that. You're kind of to the left. I've just made you a nice cup of tea.
So, a cup of tea, right?
A cup of tea and some biscuits. Is that okay? That's what we have in the UK.
I love it.
Now, I can't believe, reading your bio, you was the first female artist to sign to Salsoul Records. That was... Yes,
I was the first one to sign with Salsoul Records. Yes,
well, how did that come about then, Carol?
My husband was working for Wilson Pickett, and Wilson Pickett had a road manager. Her name was Lee Wade, and she is the one that called me up one day and said, I have to get down to this audition that they're having. They're looking for a single girl singer to sing disco, somewhat on the order of Gloria Gaynor. That's what I was told over the phone. So I got down to the audition. My husband was with me, so thank goodness he could sight read the song that I had to audition for, and he hummed it in my ear because I don't sight read, and I got it, and I sang it along with about 200 other girls that were there for the audition at the time.
Wow.
And out of all of the people, I was the one that got that audition. It took a couple of days or so before they told me I got it, but I did get it.
Fantastic.
And that's how it came about that I signed. Well, I didn't sign yet. They were going to do a one single deal with me, but then I was performing with my band, so they already they came down to see me, and then they decided they were going to sign me as an artist doing a whole album.
So you are a real legend we got on the phone here. You're not a pretend legend. You are a real soul legend.
I always tell people I'm a legend in my own mind.
I like it. And you know, I mean, disco salsa is such a happy sound, isn't it? It's you know, I mean,
yes, it is. And one thing that I love about the disco era and everybody like participating and singing it is that it just brought back it brought back strings and horns and harps and so many beautiful instruments, and the instrumentation in disco was just unbelievable. I mean, when you go back to Frank Sinatra and Judy Garland's era, they had beautiful arrangements. It might have been slower or, a different beat, but the arrangements are still there. And I think disco brought back that all of that arrangement where these were string people like the string section and everybody. You talked about maybe about 50 people that were actually in the orchestra to play.
Unbelievable. And I mean, how nervous were you at that little gig, to join the Salsoul Records? Was you nervous, or was it come naturally?
I wasn't. Well, I think it wasn't nervousness. It was just an anticipation of wanting to be there to hear, because I would be there for when they actually laid the tracks down before my vocals even went down, or the background vocals, and it was just so exciting to me to see Vince producing, to pick out the songs. I'm also a songwriter, so I mean, it it was just wonderful for Vince and I to, to pick out some of the songs that I had wrote and some of that he did. So it was an exciting time that I don't think I was nervous. It was just more of an anticipation of just trying to do and having a really good album.
And do your family realize you're such a superstar? Do they realize that?
I always often tell, I think you spoke to my youngest son,
yes.
Devern, which he is doing the background on the song It's Gonna Be Different. But I get treated very well when I'm doing shows and, when I'm going out to do my show. And then right after that, it's like I'm back down to nothing. It's just mom,
Yeah.
It's like nothing special, but I get the special treatment when I'm, when I am on stage as Carol Williams and I'm going to the shows and everything. But at home, no, it's just I'm just a regular mom.
Yeah.
Mom, where's this? What did I do with that? That kind of thing.
Fantastic. So, and obviously you're still performing all around the world these days with the music.
Yes, we're still performing, and one of the reasons too is the fact that there's a book called The First Ladies of Disco that's out. And it's 32 artists and all ladies that each one of us have our own chapter in the book. And the book is doing very well. And we're also doing shows called the First Lady of Disco book shows, where about 4 of the ladies will do a show at a time. They just had Linda Clifford, Pamela Stanley, Claudia Barry, and Martha Wash just did a show recently right here at the casino in Queens, New York. So that definitely has brought the awareness that we ladies are still out here. We're still performing and we're still, going to and still singing and still making records. So that has definitely helped with our career as far as, getting us some more shows.
Yeah,
hopefully we'll be getting to, I can get to the UK because of the Lovetown Allstars album, because I've never been to the UK.
Never been? Wow.
Never been.
Oh,
I went the first time in 2012 when I was coming from Paris. I did a show in Paris, and I had to stop over with the plane in Heathrow.
Heathrow, yes, Heathrow, yes.
Airport.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Yes. That was my little time in the UK.
Oh, if I'd have known, I could have run on board and made you a cup of tea, couldn't I? And brought those biscuits.
Yes, I would have loved that.
So what's it?
I love your accent. I love the British accent. I only wish I could have that British accent.
Well, sometimes we have to speak slow because people don't quite understand what we're talking about half the time.
Oh, I can understand it very well.
You're very kind, Mum. You know that you're very, very kind. And how how did this Lovetown Allstars thing come about? Obviously, someone sort of just phoned you up and said, "Do you fancy singing?" Or how did you connect with Tim?
The one thing about the internet, which is so great because it's definitely reconnected people with everybody in the business and the industry. Tim actually got in touch with my younger son Devern on Facebook and asked him, would he be interested, does he think that I would be interested in doing a song and writing a song to a track that he had. And my son Devern said, yes, I'm sure she would. Send us the track, let us hear it. And when Tim sent over the track and we heard it, we loved it. We immediately loved the track, and we started writing, and that's how that all came about. And then I met Tim and his lovely wife. They came here to the United States, and because Tim was also doing the other people here in the United States tracks and their vocals. And he came, and I met him and his wife, and I had already did my vocal to the track because I have a studio in the house. So we had already did everything. So Tim came and heard it, and that's how it all came about.
Fantastic.
And I'm just so happy that Tim included me in his All-Star Lovetown album. I'm loving it.
And because of that, you've met me, Carol. That's the main thing, isn't it?
And I've met you, and I can't wait to see you and so many people over there.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Thank you so much, Carol. It's been a real pleasure talking to you this afternoon, and I know that
thank you.
when
and
you
thank
come
all
to
the fans and everybody that's behind the scenes of making the Lovetown All-Star album #1. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being a very special and a soul legend, and I can't believe it. I'm so honoured to speak to you this afternoon. Do you know that I'm going to have to go and lie down in a cool room soon?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to play the
Gary.
track. Stay on the line, Carol, and I'll speak to you soon. Stay where you are, okay?
I certainly will.
Thank you.
It's gonna be different this time, and there'll be no mistaking that you're all mine. It's gonna be different this time, and there'll be no mistaking that you're all mine. It's gonna last a long, long time. Woke up with that question in my head. Only satin sheets. Why ain't you up in my bed? Grabbed the pillow, smelled your aroma. That's when I realized it was over. Oh, oh. Should've never let you go. No. These crystal tears are falling from my eyes. For you, waiting on your call, not for surprise. Baby, ain't gonna give you up. I just cannot get enough. Keep me in your loving arms. This time around, won't let you down. It's gonna be different this time. And there'll be no mistaking that you're all mine. I'm gonna make you all mine. It's gonna be different this time. And there'll be no mistaking that you're all mine. It's gonna make you all mine. I saw you when we first met the other day. You still had an attitude. Tried to confront you, but you walked away. Somebody tell me what to do, my baby. Don't wanna be my baby. Said my sugar bear, don't want this honey. And this fight for your love ain't no giving on up. Here is where you're supposed to be with me. It's gonna be different this time. And there'll be no mistaking that you're all mine. I'm gonna make you all mine. It's gonna be different this time. And there'll be no mistaking that you're all mine. It's gonna last a long, long time. Hypnotize me, baby, make me feel I'm yours. This mind game you're playing makes me want you more. The loving that you give I can't purchase in no store. I need you for myself, can't see with nobody else. Hypnotize me, baby, make me feel I'm yours. This mind game you're playing makes me want you more. The loving that you give I can't purchase in no store. I need you for myself, can't see with nobody else. Burning with desire in my soul, winding candle lights. Why are you not here to hold? See the pictures that we're taking, all the love that we had, we were making. Oh, oh, should've never let you go. This longing for your touch is just too